Jack Miller has entertained MotoGP fans for 9 seasons. One of the most popular riders on the grid, he's currently in his first year with Red Bull KTM factory racing and enjoying his racing more than ever.
My favourite part of the weekend would definitely have to be the moments before the race. Getting ready in the truck, doing my stretches, or even the time sat on the grid. It's just the most unreal feeling. Everyone's been working for that moment all weekend, and now it's all about to come down and you're about to say goodbye to everybody and go to work. And that for me is the bit I love the most.
The Australian is a master of his craft, and with his physical technique, he has a riding style that's unique in the MotoGP field.
I have an older style, an older riding style in terms of the way that I move with my butt on the bike. I move the butt a lot, whereas the newer generation, it's a more upper body hanging off the side, whereas I've got the whole body sort of hanging off the side. It's just what's worked for me is sort of the way my style's developed.
Cornering is the most technically challenging aspect of bike racing, but with the KTM RC16 beneath him, there's no better rider than the 28-year-old.
If you have a stop-and-go corner where you're trying to veer it off, you'll try to use a little bit more real estate in the centre of the corner, trying to stop the thing as late as possible and get it picked up on the fat part of the tyre as soon as possible. For that, you want a bike, you can use both tyres to stop the bike, especially later on into the corner. You want to start being able to bury that rear brake and really squat the bike down so the suspension's pretty much loaded and almost ready to react as you want to square the corner up. Then you have a nice flowing corner where you're trying to carry the maximum amount of corner speed, so you're trying to almost settle up nice and wide, use as much real estate on the entry as possible, trying to keep the bike as calm and as stable as possible and keep that lateral grip that you can get in order to keep the turning there but also keep that high speed up. Where you have a lot of high speed, change of directions, you're putting a lot of input into the handlebars in terms of counter steering. So if you're going right and you want to change high speed to left, the first thing you're doing is putting your foot on the outside peg to start that weight transfer. But then you're also using a massive amount of counter steer, so you're basically going opposite lock in the car. And that in turn creates the bike to want to flip over. Using that pushing and pulling motion as well as an input with the throttle, quiet squirt just to create some spin, and having that spin there, as soon as it kind of stops, it wants to stand the bike up, and you use that sort of motion to help the bike fall over to the other side. Feels like it's trying to kill you, but once you sort of understand, it becomes second nature to you. Like the bike almost feels like an extension of your body. It's an amazing sense of accomplishment to know that you were able to extract the maximum you could out of that motorcycle on that day, and it just fills you with so much joy.
With more than 150 MotoGP starts, Miller is enjoying developing the RC16 with KTM and shows no signs of hanging up his racing boots anytime soon.
When I do retire one day, I think the plan for me is always to head back to Australia, settle down there on the farm. We've got the little one on the way now, and hopefully we'll have another couple, watch them grow up. I'll find some stuff to sort of keep me busy. I'm not somebody who's just going to sit at home. And for sure, I'll always be involved in some way, shape or form of racing because I just love it that much.